And welcome to Paper Movies. I know that's a little early, guys, but the Roadcaster started ahead of when we hit live on the video. So it still caught my voice. So it gives you an excuse to download us on Apple Music, Spotify, and Google Play Music. I'm your host today, Jeremy at Stupid Chainsaw Productions, and with me I have Matthew, the Geeks Addict, and Adam. I don't know. Do you want to give your announcement about your channel?
I'm going to post a video about that soon. So
okay, we'll just tease.
There'll be changes. Yeah, there'll be changes to my channel coming soon that I'll be posting in a video. So.
Oh, I don't know why. I just keep waving and nodding my head like that's going to be very beneficial for the podcast.
it's all right. We have other people talking. Hello. Today we're talking about my pick, which is Halloween 2018 by, what is it, John
Passarella.
Thank you, because I don't have a copy. I listened to the very decent audiobook.
I did too.
Okay.
Not going to lie, I didn't read the book. I listened to it as well. But I do have a copy.
This is the first. We all joined that Audible crowd.
Yep. I started late, so I was like, there's no way I'm going to finish reading this, so I'm going to have to listen to it.
I started a day before I went on vacation, and I was determined to finish it that day before I went on vacation. So I literally listened to it within I finished it within 24 hours.
Well, I have a feeling Jeremy froze.
Uh-oh.
Did he freeze? Did the host of today's episode freeze?
Yeah, because he's kind of staring me down there.
That's fantastic. Let's remove and then add him back to the stream. And he's gone. Wow, guys, this is a first for the Paper Movies.
I'm not the one that gets killed this time, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's not cool. Let's just wait a second, guys. I'm sure that ruined the whole podcast bit for Jeremy. But we're going to wait a second and have him come back in any second now. And then we'll get to our thoughts. But hey, while we have this opportunity, stick around through this entire stream, because this stream we are going to let the rest of the club ask questions, give their thoughts. We want to hear your feedback for Halloween 2018. So we have Jeremy back.
This is going to be it on my end. I think I'm just going to have to snag your video and download the audio that way. Sorry about that.
Something. That's fine. I just let everybody know that after our discussion, we're going to turn it over to the club members and have go over their thoughts and their questions and have a nice little chat with them about Halloween 2018.
Fantastic. So I'm now here to
Nope, I think he froze again.
And he's gone once again. Wow. Uh-oh. Let's just take a second here. And Jeremy, are you with it?
I'm going to lose. I can't even say what I'm going to lose on here, or else we'll get an explicit tag. But I'm very angry right now. Very angry. Okay. Let me try to do a synopsis one last time. So it's been 40 years since the babysitter murders happened via Michael Myers in 1978, escaping from the insane asylum and hunting down Laurie Strode's friends. Some podcaster has-beens are trying to do this big true crime episode, and they go and visit Michael, and they hold up his mask and scream at him, and nothing happens except for everyone freaks out. We meet Michael's current doctor, Dr. Sartain, because Michael is getting transferred to an even more maximum security, insane penitentiary thing. Not being held at Smith's Grove anymore. Meanwhile, Laurie Strode is kind of become a recluse. He's sort of what's a good word for it?
Like a hermit.
Hermit, NRA dream. Being a crazy person. We also meet her daughter, Karen, and her husband and her daughter, Allison, who's our new protagonist for this film, kind of, sort of. And she's on honor roll. She has friends that I don't understand why they're her friends.
Yeah, I don't know.
And a boyfriend who's like the bad boy in school. And his friend who's the comic relief that's not always funny.
Yeah, obnoxious.
And of course, Michael Myers escapes again and starts hunting people.
But what do you expect when you're going to be, let's transfer him to the more maximum security with the least secure way of transportation?
Yeah, I know. It's just like, well, let's just transfer a dangerous serial killer who can't seem to die out of here.
Right. Might as well as like, hey guys, everybody grab a hold of this rope. We're going to walk. Okay? It's basically what it's like.
Oh, man.
What did you guys think of the book? Did you enjoy it?
I'll go last.
Okay.
Honestly, I thought it was good. I'm going to say I was able to keep my attention with it. I didn't find it boring at all. I kind of felt like, I'm trying to think of the way of phrasing this. I found it more engaging than the actual movie.
I haven't seen the movie.
I would disagree with you.
Disagree?
Oh. Ding, ding, ding.
But Matthew.
So I thought the book was enjoyable. I thought it was a quick, like I said, I did the audio book, but it was like a quick listen. So if I did read the book, I'm sure it would have been a quick read. Yeah, there was a lot of tacky stuff in it. Of course, it's a horror. All horror movies have cheesy things in them, and when you put them in a book, it's still cheesy. Which we'll get into some of that stuff, like the climax. There were some things in there that I had some real issues with. That I was like, wait a second. This is the lady that's been training for years for something that's going to happen, and she completely blows it. Doesn't follow through with her training at all. It's just some of the stuff was just dumb. But the other stuff with the podcasters, like you said, like show up to, we're going to do some little in-depth mind searching of Michael Myers. So they wave his mask in his face, thinking that that's going to be a good idea. I mean, you don't think that that's going to just like bring up some crazy memories, some PTSD maybe, that pull that trigger in his mind to,
it literally freaks everyone out around them.
Yeah, which was kind of I kind of chuckled at that too,
because
it was like,
you're reading it, you're not seeing it. It's a better scene visually.
Okay, because when I'm reading it, I'm visualizing like caged monkeys, like, this one got a banana, and all the other ones start freaking out around him, like pulling on their cages and stuff. I'm like, over a mask, like how do any of these crazy people know what this mask means?
Now, I was going to say, though, going back to what I said, the last part of the film, of the book, like where the showdown, I know that we're going to get to that later. I was just wanting to point out that part I actually enjoyed in the movie better than the book. So
yes, I'll second that. So I'll jump in. So I really wanted to see this movie when it came out because I've never seen a Halloween movie on the big screen. Unfortunately, my house burned down when this movie came out, and I didn't get to see it, but I had the audiobook. So this is what I listened to while I was homeless. So it was a nice escapism. So I've read this twice now. I enjoy this book, but it has some big flaws.
Yeah.
The first one being that there's a lot of references in Halloween 2018 that pay homage to the whole series, even though it reboots it as like Halloween 2.
Yeah, like I remember, like early in both the book and the film, they were asking, like, aren't Michael Myers and Laurie Strode siblings? And they're like, no, that's just a stupid rumor or something like that.
Yeah, that's the real dumb one for the audience.
Mm-hmm.
There are other ones. they reference one in the book, and it's I chuckled. There's Laurie Strode tells these 3 trick-or-treaters to run away. One's wearing a witch mask, one's wearing a pumpkin mask, and another one's wearing a skull mask. Those are the masks from Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. The ones that turn the kids.
Yeah, I picked that up. There was reference when that was mentioned. I was like, I know what they're doing there.
The guy who, when my favorite kill happens with the wrought iron fence, Oscar is like talking to what he thinks is I can't remember the neighbor's name, but that's the guy, the last name of the couple that Michael steals the knife from in Halloween 2. And there's little nods like that throughout.
Yeah, there's also one that I think was in, I remember hearing that was in one of the earlier novelizations. Of course, those are really hard to find, but it's the line that, you know, Michael Myers does know how to speak. He just chooses not to.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that's brought up in Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Oh, it is?
In Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, Michael Myers screams, "Die!" and stabs Loomis, and it's supposed to be like scary, but it turns out to be really funny.
Yeah, wow.
Also, that's the movie where where Michael Myers looks remarkably like a gigantic Rob Zombie.
Interesting.
Now, there's also. Oh wait, I don't know if I should say this part because Matthew hasn't seen it, so because you can only see it in the film.
I don't care.
Oh, well, okay, you remember at the end of the first Halloween where Laurie Strode looks out the window to see Michael's corpse that fell out the window, but he's gone?
Mm-hmm.
They do that in the film, except reverse.
Yeah, there's a lot of reversing where Laurie Strode is.
Little Easter eggs, callbacks, and stuff.
Yeah, but it's done smarter than it was in Halloween H2O.
Okay.
But this is a paper movies. We got to talk about the book and the the embarrassing dialogue of the kids.
Oh man, yeah.
Bad. It's the one big glaring flaw in this book. Even though this book's pretty good with its atmosphere, it's so 2018. It hurts.
Yeah.
This movie is and this is the problem with the movie too. These go hand in hand. It wants to be timeless, but its dialogue is so of the late 2010s.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they also the technology part of it too always dates a move for me. Like, is talking about the nacho cheese spilled into the microphone of her cell phone. You're like, okay, so
it'll be dated in 5 years.
Yeah. I don't know what phone they used in the movie. I don't care, but it's just you got to somehow get away from that stuff to make a movie or a story continue on for many generations to enjoy, in my opinion. But, mostly.
Let's name some good here, because we're starting to bag on this book, and this book doesn't necessarily deserve to be completely bagged on.
Okay, well, a good thing that they did really pushed a lot on was making sure that everybody understood that Michael was a shape. He was more than just a man. He was a shadow, a figure that just won't quit. Nothing can stop this guy.
Yeah, I have a note about that, and I was saying that I loved how they always refer to him as the shape, because they've often mentioned it, as Jeremy's saying, they make references to the film series, where Michael Myers is the embodiment of evil, and by calling him the shape, I just I wrote down that removes all the humanity from him, and it completely labels him as an evil force of nature.
And to piggyback off of that, in midway through the book, Michael Myers is just going around killing random people, and that to me is truly terrifying. It's the first time since the original where you have that dread, because the problem with the sequels, and I understand why they got rid of him, is that he's Laurie Strode's brother,
right?
And it's hampered by that. And
the connection just has to be with
John Carpenter didn't know what to do with a Halloween 2, and he had to write a script for it. And what we got is a convoluted brother-sister plot that's a ripoff of Friday the 13th, which Friday the 13th is a ripoff of Halloween. the irony there. But I will say there are a few things in this book that I think are better than the movie. Number one, when the dad and the kid in the pickup truck that find all the mental patients wandering around, their dialogue in the book feels like father-son talk when father and son don't quite understand one another, but they're trying. Whereas in the movie, it's contrived 2010s BS.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really, that's good. Good that they changed it in the book.
Yeah,
Which
I also,
that probably goes to show that, like, on set, they were probably like, you know,
It was probably
ad
prepped
lib.
from the studio.
Yeah.
yeah, I was also gonna say that they made Cameron, which is Allison. Yeah, Allison's her Laurie Strode's granddaughter. They made him more of a bad boy type in the book than they did in the film. Like,
He's more fleshed out in the book, and they give him a backstory, and like there's
like
abuse and stuff. You don't get that in the movie. He's just a one-dimensional jerk.
Yeah, and there's like this whole scene where he gets into this big confrontation with the police and everything, and running his mouth off at him, and like you don't see that at all in the film.
No, which is a shame. It's a good scene for Cameron.
I honestly was pretty bored through the whole kid stuff. Honestly,
yeah. Except for I do enjoy Julian, the little kid that's being babysat. He's really hilarious.
Yeah, that was pretty good too.
Although
boogeyman.
Most of his dialogue in the movie is different because it's ad-libbed by the child, and it's even funnier. It's not how a child speaks, which makes it just wonderful.
Yeah, the kid was so calm, really, in the book. He was like, "There's a boogeyman in my closet."
I swear he drops an F-bomb in the movie.
Really?
I was also going to say they actually included a scene in the book that was supposed to be a deleted scene in the film, and that was like the two podcasters, like they're actually like in a relationship. And
that's right. That's not in
they try to pull off this like psycho-ish type scene where the guy like peeks in on the girl in the shower and he's wearing Michael Myers' mask, and
yeah.
And to me, that kind of strikes as a sort of nod to Rob Zombie's Halloween, because Michael's sister and her boyfriend's the one with the Captain Kirk, like Mike Myers mask. Mike Myers, the love guru. It's a mask of him, obviously. He has the Michael Myers mask on, and he wants to have sex with her. That's like a scene in Rob Zombie's movie, and everyone's talking in the Rob Zombie offensive dialogue. But I guess that's like a nod to that too, which is embarrassing.
So was
their whole thing is they're just the worst characters. They're some of the worst characters, but their deaths are so wonderful.
That's what I was going to ask you guys. What was your favorite death scene?
Oh, I can tell you right now, the wrought iron fence.
It goes up through the jaw, doesn't it?
Stuck there. That's one of my favorite deaths in the whole Halloween series. Is so grotesque.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to say mine was that new doctor who Laurie Strode called the new Loomis, because I don't know, that part was just a little weird to me. Like,
that's like in the movie too, and it's
I don't know. It's just kind of like. It just kind of seemed like that was a little out of nowhere. That it's just like he wanted to help Michael his whole life, and now he's just like, oh, I have to see him at his strongest. Like,
that was a weird little plot twist thing that I didn't understand.
It's a stupid plot twist. It is just so Jamie Lee Curtis can fight Michael Myers.
Yeah, didn't the doctor, he killed a guy, right?
Yeah, he killed the deputy.
Right. Yeah, it was like, wait, what? Why did you do that?
And then he put Michael Myers' mask on. It looks like a weirdo.
A weird thing that he's always wanted to I got to feel what it's like to be this. It's a weird thing. I didn't like that little twist.
It reminded me so much of some of the late Universal Studios 40s movies, where there's this mad scientist that swears he's going to, depower the Frankenstein monster, but instead he gets obsessed with wanting to see it at its full power and then just revives it.
Mhm.
And it's just, I will say though that I like the dialogue between the new Loomis and the deputy, because the new, I can't remember the doctor's name. What was his name again? It escapes me.
Sartain.
That's it. Yeah, Sartain was just like, he was actually like threatening to sue the deputy or something. Just like, if you hurt Michael Myers, I will hold you to the fullest extent of the law. And I'm just like, so it's like, dude, Michael Myers is a freaking serial killer. He will kill you in an
Yeah.
instant, and you're.
Yeah, he says that stuff, and then he just winds up killing a cop. So
yeah, that part was just kind of little out of nowhere for me, and I was just kind of glad that Michael Myers just literally, stomped on it. Pun intended.
Yeah, I can't remember the names of the podcasters, to be honest with you.
I can look on the IMDb right now,
but I think
but I don't care.
their deaths were my favorite.
They were enjoyable.
Do what?
Those were enjoyable.
They were just like,
because they're just
to me it was creepy
people.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the dude gets he's used as a battering ram
into the bathroom stalls.
Yeah, and then he just like chunks his body into a trash can. Like, wow, ouch.
The woman's like literally strangled to the point where I think her neck breaks because of how hard she's strangled.
Yeah, lifts her up. Didn't he say like he lifted her up, and the guy saw her like being strangled above the stalls?
Mm-hmm.
Creepy, gross.
Not bad from an elderly man.
Yeah, I know. Well, the elderly shape, not a man.
Yeah, it's not. How did you feel about the end?
Can I say the thing that bothered me the most about the entire book?
Yes.
It's at the end. She's, got all these mannequins for some stupid reason around her house, just for, I guess.
They were cheap.
To
shoot. I don't know how they're cheaper to shoot than paper targets, but that's
exactly. Yeah, exactly. But it's like, you're afraid this guy, well, you're not afraid anymore. You're just kind of prepared for it. For this guy to come over and you're ready to shoot him. But you have dummies all over the place. So if he does come over, you're kind of going to get confused at who's who and what's going on around your house, which I think does happen when she's like goes up to her bedroom, I think. But the thing is, when she's down in the basement or the bunker under her kitchen, Michael's walking across the floor. Okay, so what does she do with her gun? She just starts shooting up at the ceiling to shoot him through the floor. When she had a perfect opportunity earlier, whenever she was up by her front door and his arms burst through the window and grab her, like instead of just like getting free like she did and then turning around, and what did she have? Was it a 357? Was that her revolver that she was?
Yeah, but I think she shoots his fingers off the 12 gauge.
Yeah, well, I thought she did that, like put it up like it shoots like by her head or something. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, she didn't strangle through the door because she like tried to cover behind it when it has a window on the front of it.
Well, I'm just thinking, like, when she did get free, why didn't she just finish the job? Just go up to the door, just put that shotgun or revolver, whatever she was using at the time, and just blast the dude.
Because we wouldn't have the grandmother, mother, and daughter bonding about trying to kill a man.
I know. They could have changed that somehow, but just the whole thing of like, oh, she's trained. She's like she's got the armory down there. She knows what she's doing, but she's just shooting up at the freaking ceiling. Come on.
What makes that worse is that's just basically like, hey, Michael, bang, bang, we're down here.
Yeah,
bang,
we're down
bang,
here.
bang.
I know.
Look, I just made you a peephole.
The whole climax
Put some gasoline down here
doesn't really work. There's some creepy scenes in it with the mannequins where they're all brought into a room, which I don't know how Michael had time to do that when he was like bleeding out from his left hand.
That brings up another point real quick, is we have Michael who is messing with the dummies, arranging things, but also in the first movie, the original movie, did he like decorate bodies and do weird things that you're like, why did he do that?
Because he's a psychopath.
But did he do that though in the first
Yeah,
original
he
movie?
does that in the original movie.
Okay, 'cause I don't remember. It's been a long time. I said I was going to watch that movie.
That's the trope that was brought into all the slasher movies, where the final girl just finds all their dead friends.
Okay, because I remember saying that I was going to watch the original before I read this. Didn't get around to it, but when he does kill the babysitter and the boyfriend,
Yeah,
he like dresses her up like a ghost or something.
yeah, and he throws a jack-o'-lantern in the fish tank,
Yeah.
and then he hangs up the other her boyfriend, the stoner, who's Dave. Dave, that's his name, who knocks over the Harley.
Yeah.
I can't pick it back up because he's like too stoned, and it's a Harley, and those are very hard to pick up.
About 800 pounds, I think.
Yeah, it was a big bike. He gets hung up, which this is something they don't have in the movie. He has the Halloween date tattooed on him because he's trying to get with Vicky. And, that goes really well for them.
That was so stupid.
So
stupid characters, mainly Dave's stupid. Vicky's
caused confusion for the cops, right? It's like, oh, the date. It's the date.
So I think I just kind of I just noticed something like in both the book and in the film, like Laurie carries a revolver.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of wondering if that was supposed to be like a Easter egg or nod to Loomis because he carried a revolver with him, and that's what he used that to shoot Michael Myers.
So she has a dumb line, I know, in the movie where she says revolvers never jam, which is not
right.
This is not true, people.
No.
You can get the timing off in a revolver and it will misfire. Any gun that you don't clean will jam.
Yep.
But I was just curious because I remember Laurie in the original film saw Loomis, take Michael Myers out the window with a revolver, and I was kind of wondering if that's why she always relied on it more. So that could just be me, like making a really broad connection there, but
could be. Sure, they probably watched the original many, many, many times as they were writing this one. Like, what if instead of the guy falling out of the window, she falls out of a window?
Probably watched the original movie, like, okay.
Because everyone goes to John Carpenter to ask for his permission to make Halloween. Well, in the case of this one, he did the score. He and his sons did the score.
Oh, he did. I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah. Oh God, the score for Halloween 2018 is incredible.
Yeah, I agree.
So awesome synth.
I will have to look it up then.
I was going to ask.
We're gonna have to watch this movie together.
I was going to ask, what was you guys' least favorite part of the book?
The clunky. It's the same thing with my least favorite part of the movie. The clunky Dr. Sartain killing the police officer and driving Michael Myers to Laurie Strode's house for the climax. And they had to do that. Well, there's one thing that kind of redeems it is that Michael doesn't even care that it's Laurie Strode. There's no recollection.
Right.
That doesn't matter to him, which is the interesting part of this one compared to all the other Halloween sequels. So otherwise it's dumb. It's so contrived. It doesn't make sense.
I agree. It was just out of nowhere.
Yeah, I think that is a pretty good point. That was the thing that confused me the most. It was like, why is this guy doing this now? Was there some connection to? Was this guy in the first movie that I didn't remember? But no, it's just some stupid doctor who wants to get his jollies and see what it feels like.
They can't have Donald Pleasance back. He died 25 years ago now.
Yeah. Well, and it's a toss up between that doctor stuff and the trained lady who, Laurie Strode, who's trained for this her entire life since it happened. And she just completely forgets her training, doesn't know what to do. I want to go down to the basement and start shooting up at the ceiling. That drove me crazy. It drove me crazy.
And the fact, of course, stabbed in the gut and is still alive at the end.
Yeah, she's like, oh, I'm in pain. But then again, I know that when situations go crazy, people are gonna, be flustered and not do exactly what they say they're going to do.
Mhm. It's
So-
also a horror. It's a slasher movie. Well, it's a novel of a slasher movie.
Right.
I was gonna say, what the novel did do that I actually appreciated that the movie did not do is that at the end, when they escape the house, the burning house, and they leave Michael there, and they hitchhike with this guy, they actually talk about how they mourn. They remembered, oh yeah, my husband Ray just died, and they actually mourn them. And in the film, they're just like, oh wait, crap, Ray died. I'm like,
Yeah,
we
Ray
got one.
got strangled with a wind chime and got shoved into the top shelf of a closet.
Yeah, I forgot about Ray.
Weird.
So did everybody else.
Remember, he was making the mousetraps with peanut butter.
Oh, that was so stupid. There was that scene in when he gets over to Laurie's house and he's like, "What's that thing?" I was like, "Here comes the mousetrap gag again." And she's like, "What do you use, Ray?" I like the conflict between the mother-in-law and the son-in-law. I thought that was pretty funny.
If you really look at it, because the first time reading this through, I'm like, why is Allison's mom married to an idiot? And it makes sense that she would rebel and marry the stupidest person in Haddonfield.
Yeah.
Thankfully, their daughter isn't that stupid. She says husband and boys.
When she showed up to the house, when the daughter Allison showed up to the house, did she even ask where her dad was? I don't recall.
I don't think so.
No.
It was just like, oh, look, it's me, Mom, and Grandma.
Mom, I'm like trying to. I don't think it even occurred to her because she was trapped in the back of a squad car with Michael Myers.
Yeah.
But yeah. Final thoughts.
I would like to see the movie. I would recommend people read this book if they want to read a horror novel. I think it was decent. I would like to read the original Halloween novel, but until somebody sends it to me or gives me a buttload of cash to spend on a copy.
A PDF copy, yeah.
Yeah, a PDF copy at that. But I enjoyed the book. I thought it was fun. Yeah, like I say, every time I read or watch a horror movie, there's definitely going to be some cheese. And yeah, that's my thoughts.
I agree. It's very enjoyable to read. The first half is anyway, but when it comes to the actual showdown, I recommend the film portion of that. And other than that, it's good to read, but I still did have that issue with Sartain just completely going 180 and being like, ooh, I want to get inside the mind of a serial killer. It's gonna, it's just and I did enjoy seeing all the alternate scenes or deleted scenes that were included that weren't in the film, with Cameron confrontation with the police and the reporters or the podcasters. I recommend it.
I recommend it. There's dialogue that's changed. Some of it for the better, some of it for the worse. It's a fast read, and you'll get through it pretty quickly, even though it's pretty long for a movie novelization.
Yeah, it's 40 chapters, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the page count. It's over 350 pages.
Oh wow!
This is the portion of the stream / podcast where we give our grades on it. We'll start with Matthew.
Well, 371 pages. Just to let you guys know. For my grade, my rating, I will have to give it 3 stars out of 5.
Ooh, we're switching stars?
Or C+. I don't remember what we do here. I just C+.
You usually do letter grades, and I do the stars here.
Okay, I'll go to my letter grade. C+. Well, yeah, C+. The thing that brings it down for me a lot is the tacky stuff with the teenagers. Just stupid. I was bored. Like I said, I was bored with the teenage stuff the whole time. The whole nacho cheese and the cell phone was just okay, annoying. And the doctor scene and the ending with Laurie Strode just threw me off, and that's what brings it down to a C+. But the writing style, excellent from John Passarella.
Adam.
I don't know. I want to give it like a B minus, but I'm trying to think about I'm trying to be as fair as I possibly can be because, I think probably B minus for me.
I would give it a 4.5 out of 5. We've read a lot worse on here.
Yes, that indeed we have.
We've read better, of course, but as far as modern novelizations go, this is the better one we've read.
Yeah.
This was better. It goes without saying it was better than The Predator.
Oh yeah,
but it's a lot better than King of the Monsters.
Yeah,
that book.
I'd say so. I can't remember what I gave that. This was more
Enjoyable,
more engaging. Yeah, it's like you want to stick to it and keep turning the pages. So
is that how you turn pages? By
like a Game Boy or a PlayStation controller?
Yeah. No.
So join us next week when we check out Spider-Man.
What he means is next week we start reading the next month's book, Spider-Man. Sorry,
I've already started. Yeah. So.
What?
I'm on like halfway through chapter 2 now, so
it's all right. I'm like 2 pages into the prologue.
I don't know why I said what, because I'm on chapter 2.
Yeah, also we are planning to have a guest on this stream. We're going to have Mad Machad. He's actually been very excited about us doing Spider-Man. I think he actually recommended it at one point, or said like, hey, please do Spider-Man. So we reached out to him, and so yeah, Chris from Mad Machad is going to be joining us next month for the Spider-Man stream.
Yep, it's going to be exciting. So that's going to do it for the Halloween novelization discussion with the hosts. So join us next month as we talk about Spider-Man 2002 by Peter David. So awesome.
Gucci.
In the podcast. Now, guys, welcome to the club chat for Halloween 2018.
This is your chance to actually comment stuff that isn't about me not wearing pants, not what we're going to be dressed for as for Halloween, which Matthew would be an adorable pork. Because that's what I've been paying attention to during the chat is what we were dressed as for Halloween. No, this is your chance to talk about, for those of you who read the book, or even talk about what you thought of with the movie. Like, what'd you think of it?
Yeah, or even if you only seen the movie, you can ask us like what all we caught that was different from the film if we have seen it. So
yeah, looking forward to reading your thoughts, questions, all that stuff. That's why we ignore the chat, because it just gets a little bit wild in there during the discussion. So now it's open range for Halloween 2018. So I don't know if I should go through the top and see what everybody was saying. It might take us way too long.
If you want to go through that, have either of you seen any of the Halloween movies besides the original? And like Adam, I know you've seen the 2018 one, but have you seen like the sequels and stuff?
I saw the second one.
Okay,
I saw the original and the second one and the 2018 one. And the Rob Zombie one, but
I saw the Rob Zombie one and the H2O. I saw H2O in theaters.
I just rewatched H2O. My mom had never seen H2O. And then I had to explain to her that Halloween Resurrection is the direct sequel to that, and it's horribly embarrassing.
Resurrection?
Oh yeah. So at the end of H2O, you remember Laurie Strode beheads Michael Myers? Spoilers to him.
Yeah.
1998.
Yeah, that's the last time I saw it was in theaters.
So in 2002, they made a sequel starring Tyra Banks and Busta Rhymes. in it, we find out that Michael Myers injured a paramedic's vocal cords and swapped clothes with him, and that Laurie Strode beheaded a paramedic and is in an asylum where Michael Myers sneaks in and kills her in the first 10 minutes. That's how that movie begins, and then we're stuck with a bunch of unlikable characters that are going through the Myers house on a old live stream that looks like Big Brother. And this other kid who's pen pals with this girl that's in the house is like like he's like trying to look out for Michael Myers on the computer. It's very 2002. Matt Wilkins is also talking about one of my favorite sequels, Halloween 3: Season of the Witch, the one that doesn't have Michael Myers in it. When they
Quality Autism was said Halloween 3 is the best Halloween.
I enjoy it.
I found a comment from Quality Autism. I thought Michael killing completely randomly was stupid. He had a plan. In the original, he wanted to kill Laurie and her friends after he saw them. He doesn't kill other random people on the way.
But I mean, he kills the. I think that he just had gotten more deranged, and that's why I liked it. He's like, I'm out again, because he stalks some babysitters and kills them. Like he goes around, he has to get that kitchen knife. He has to get that old lady with the hammer, which is also a wonderful scene in the movie. That's one take too, when he's going from house to house, killing people.
Yeah, and what I also thought was he completely looked at an infant in the crib and just was like, just walked away.
Yeah.
I thought that was like, I'm surprised he didn't. I'm glad he didn't, but I was just like,
he already killed like a 12-year-old.
I knew as soon as it mentioned the baby and the thing, I knew Michael. There's something in his little shadow brain or shape brain that's like, that is an innocent thing. I'm walking away.
It's kind of like when we did watch the Predator 2 on Jeremy's live stream, where the Predator refuses to kill a pregnant woman because there's no honor or glory in the hunt. So let's see.
Small Time, was the 2018 version better than the Rob Zombie one?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
The Rob Zombie movies are horrible. Basically, you can say that about every movie Rob Zombie's made. Did I tell you I rewatched his Firefly trilogy? I say rewatched. I had never seen Free from Hell until Sunday, but I watched The House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and Three from Hell, and they're all awful. They're some of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. I can't say they're the worst, though, because Green Inferno exists, and that is the worst thing I have ever seen.
I was going to actually mention something about Loomis in the Rob Zombie one. I thought it was just completely weird that, here's the thing. It's weird in the original that he just like randomly has a gun, but in the Rob Zombie one, he
goes and
buys one. And I'm just like, I can probably see why in the original version he would have one, because he deals with a lot of insane people, probably has to protect himself. But it's just like, I don't know. He was just like in the Rob Zombie one, when he was buying one, he was just, it's like he's never even held one before in his life. I'm like, dude, you're destined to get killed. I mean, it's
two different versions of the Doctor. You got one who's like, I have a right to protect myself. And the other guy, I'm a doctor. I can fix people's brains. I don't need to protect myself.
In the flashback, because God, the Rob Zombie movie, it's 3 different movies. It's 3 bad short movies. One is the young Myers kills his family. The second part is him turning into the shape. And then the third one is just the original Halloween done in an hour. More profanity and more nudity. And every character is an asshole. That's the Rob Zombie theme, though. But Dr. Loomis in the Rob Zombie ones, Malcolm McDowell, is like a hippie. When in the young scenes, even though he looks like elderly Malcolm McDowell, Have you either of you seen the sequel to the Rob Zombie Halloween?
No.
Oh, it's worse.
Did they call it Halloween too?
Yes.
Was that the one where like Laurie Strode goes crazy or something?
Yeah, they're like trying to make that Rob Zombie's like Manson family of the Myers, and Michael sees his mom leading a white horse throughout the movie, and Laurie Strode's actually more of an asshole than she was in the first one because she's also like addicted to drugs, and is like finds out that she's Michael Myers' sister because Dr. Loomis sells out and makes a novel about the Myers family. And he's an asshole now, too. And, oh, God. And Michael Myers just walks around without his mask for half the film.
Weird.
I like how
Rob Zombie.
I like how Small Time, when he asked, like, was 2018 better? Like how everyone else was like, yes in the comments.
Matt Wilkins says Halloween Resurrection is where you stop watching the series.
Yeah, but don't even watch Halloween Resurrection. Don't watch Halloween 6. That's awful too. Both that. Although the only thing to say about Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers, it's Paul Rudd's first movie. It's Donald Pleasant's last movie because he died as soon as they finished production on that.
Oh wow! See, I didn't know there were that many Halloween movies. I thought there was obviously 3, and then I thought H2O, Rob Zombie, and then the new 2018 one.
4 is the product of 3. We tried to make this anthology series. No one liked it, which 3 is actually not a bad movie. Just unfortunately is called Halloween 3. If it was just called Season of the Witch, people would probably like it. It would have a cult following. Because it's a well-made film. But Halloween 4 is literally, it's the late 80s, and they're like, yes, it is that bad. Matt, don't go there. Don't go there with me.
Matt Wilkins says Halloween 6 is not so bad, and that there's 8 in the original series. I was trying to poke my eye.
Anyway,
sorry, I was like, ooh, I'm gonna see what the comments are. I was like, I'm on my phone, so it's hard for me to do that.
Anyway, so let me continue here for a hot.
Yeah, sorry.
So 4 is like straight up like, we have Michael Myers, we can make a Friday the 13th movie, another one, but it'll be called Halloween 4, and it will have star little kid that's supposed to be Laurie Strode's daughter, and Laurie Strode's supposedly dead, but she's not, obviously, because H2O, which they vaguely explained that away. There was apparently more of that, but that got left on the cutting room table. But 4, 5, and 6 are the Jamie trilogy. It's also like it's the cult of Thorn. It's this whole weird cult that like Michael Myers is like this entity of evil, and it doesn't make like any sense by the time you get to Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. Although it has one of my favorite Halloween deaths where Michael stabs a dude into a generator and he gets so electrocuted the dude's head blows up. It makes me laugh every time. Also, Paul Rudd is not trying in that movie. He's supposed to be Tommy Doyle, the kid that Laurie Strode was babysitting in the original. Which that's the connection. Also, there's like more Strodes living in the Meyer house or something like that. They're all murdered.
It sounds like it just gets into weird, cheesy stuff. It's quality. Yeah, it says I think there's like 11 Halloween movies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. H2O, Resurrection, Rob Zombie, Halloween 1 and 2, and Halloween 2018. What about? It'd be funny if they retitled. Like what Matt Wilkins says. No, sorry. Quality Autism says Halloween 4 through 6 are called the Thorn trilogy.
Yes, that's what they're called.
Because Matt said Halloween 4 through 6, the sequel trilogy. It'd be funny if they retitled those, Halloween Awakens, The Last Halloween, and The Rise of Michael Myers.
I think they're doing something like that, actually.
Yeah, the new ones: Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends. Halloween Kills just dropped a trailer today, apparently.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
really?
You said that before we went live.
Yeah, right before Adam joined. Yeah.
Yeah. See, Small Time, I see where they are bringing back an actress from the original Halloween into next year's Halloween Kills that was 9 years old in the original. Interesting.
Okay.
Damn it, Chad, I've only seen the original, the remake, and the 2018 sequel.
I'm sorry you saw the remake. Those Rob Zombie just can't make movies that are good.
Yeah, it's just they do this a lot, like in film. Like I call it kind of the Superman Returns kind of complex, where the sequels are so bad they have to make another sequel to the first movie.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Quest for Peace is the best Superman movie ever made.
Well, it's not just that. It's just like the Jurassic World movies are supposed to be a sequel to the original Jurassic Park movie, and the other two are just like, ignored for some reason.
But the Jurassic World and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom are so much worse than Lost World and Jurassic Park 3. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is one of the most unwatchable things I saw in the last decade.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
It's embarrassing.
Which movie would be more interesting? Lost World with Michael Myers or Jurassic World with Michael Myers?
Neither? Maybe Jurassic World, that scene where that dude is looting when the pterodactyls are flying. It's the only funny scene in Jurassic World, where all the pterodactyls are attacking the people and that are like shopping and stuff. And there's that dude like stealing the toy dinosaurs and merchandise. And Michael Myers just comes up and just stabs him,
Yeah, that'd be funny.
throws him into a pterodactyl mouth.
Then he's gone because he's a shape. He moves away from the dinosaurs. They don't even
And there's
see
a
him.
musical sting though to know that he moved.
Yes. That's what I was curious about too. There are moments in this book, I can't recall any off the top of my head, where they had the iMovie sound effects up and they had that old jump scare sound that's in every movie.
Mm-hmm.
I hate jump scares.
They have to be earned.
Yeah, they're accompanied with loud shrieking noises.
Not always. Have you never seen The Exorcist?
I'm talking about in recent movies.
Oh, okay.
New movies.
Yeah. Well, the whole horror genre in the mainstream is trash.
Yeah. There's plenty of movies that have great jump scares that are legit jump scares, not the loud noise.
You gotta build and you gotta earn it. And it's gotta stay. You gotta have good atmosphere. You can't just rely on jump scares because that just leads into paranormal activity. That's the one you should always go to for how not to make a horror movie. Mm-hmm. Any of the paranormal activity movies are a prime example of that.
Yeah.
You know what movie I think has actually decent jump scares, like starting off, but then they get kind of predictable? An American Werewolf in London.
That movie's wonderful.
Like, it has great jump scares, but then near the end, they just kind of get more predictable because it's kind of the same concept.
Yeah. Also, that movie just gets batshit insane.
Mm-hmm.
Near the end, just the whole climax of that movie is just insanity. I love it.
Small Time. I wish William Shatner would do a cameo in Halloween if he hasn't already.
That'd be funny. He'd just be like going up to Michael Myers and like, "Hey, can you stop like using a mask of my face to like kill people? This is really making me look bad."
Mad Chad, there's a dude holding it and trying to take care of the margaritas in his hands when the pterodactyls attack the park.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was weird. I'm just
Just
but then
throw
again,
Michael Myers in there.
Hey, theme park drinks are expensive, man.
That movie's horribly embarrassing. It's not, you know what? I'll take it back. It's not as horribly embarrassing as Independence Day Resurgence. That was more embarrassing. Wasn't that the same year?
For
I haven't
what?
seen it.
The second Independence Day and Jurassic World. Didn't they come out the same year?
That was an embarrassing one. I was excited for it too, and then when I saw it, I was like, E.
I wasn't. Well, we all know I don't like that first Independence Day.
That's true. Yeah.
But I really didn't like Resurgence.
See, I have a question, Jeremy.
I may have an answer, Matthew.
And Adam, you saw the movie, right?
Halloween?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was brought up. You rated the book, Jeremy, at 4.5 stars out of 5,
Mhm.
and you gave it a B plus. Adam, right?
B minus.
B minus.
So, what would you rate the film?
Oh,
Same?
that's a tough one.
Same.
Probably same. Maybe a little lower.
Even
because
though
bad
this had
dialogue.
stuff that the movie didn't?
What's up?
Or the movie also had stuff that this didn't have?
Yeah, it's alternate dialogue, but it's just like the pacing's a little better in the movie. The music, you have to account in the music's whole score is incredible. It's just some of John Carpenter's best work.
With the film, I mean, the book still has like the same stuff in it that I didn't like from the film, and that's why it was just the one thing I give the film more credit for is that it doesn't have as much, ridiculousness with the teenagers as it does in the book, like because they expand upon it with like Cameron trying to like be a hot shot in front of the police or something like that, and it's just but I would argue maybe the book is a B minus and the film is a B plus because the last scene, the standoff between Michael Myers was more enjoyable to watch than it was to read. So
And there's certain things in editing. The long take. There's a long take where he's just like randomly picking people and killing them, and it's one take. That's incredible, and you can't do that in the book. It just doesn't flow right.
Yeah.
I actually saw that they had multiple actors playing the Shape or Michael Myers.
Yeah, because in one scene it's the original stunt guy.
That's cool. Just too old to continue on with the
all the
crazy stuff.
Actor now. But something I like about the movie is they really, because the original Michael Myers mask is long vanished, but they did a painstaking time making the original mask and then aging it. Whereas in the Rob Zombie one, it just looks like it got folded up and it cracked randomly, but like it looks orderly in its cracking disgustingness for being left under a floorboard for years. Also, how is that knife not rusty? Yeah. Rob Zombie's Halloween from being under the floorboard in the dirt.
Because I'm looking at the cover, and it looks like they try to make it look like he's an old man now. The way the wrinkles are and stuff. They got the lights are too.
Well, I mean, it's just an age thing. Also, here's a weird plot hole. How did podcasters get the original mask out of police evidence?
That's a good question.
If they could get the Michael Myers mask out of police evidence, we could get free tickets to any convention we want because we're podcasters. That's what that means.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was about to say, like, with that said, like, we should be like, where's all of our free stuff? Like, we're talking about Halloween. Like, where's our free Halloween mask?
I'll say that the Shape Hunts Allison is one of the best tracks because I mean it follows the wrought iron fence, which is just disgusting. I wish that's one thing though that I wish with the kills they had lit that more so we could see that practical effect of Oscar just hanging there with the fence posted up through his jaw. But MPAA wouldn't probably allow that. Actually, I don't know. Saw movies exist.
I wish they would put photos of the movies in the novelization, even the newer novelizations, but put them in the back because we've had this discussion before, where it's like in the middle of a sentence or something, or some dialogue when people are talking, they put the photos in there. But for some movies, like it'd be cool to have the photos in the back.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, it's like instead, like if it's in the middle of the book, it's kind of like I've heard this joke somewhere. Like, so what?
It spoils things.
Well, yeah, that and like what Matthew said, like when you're reading, it's It's like I've heard the joke about like The Sopranos, where like they just kind of cut to black screen in the middle of someone talking.
Mhm.
So that's
Yeah, or like a YouTube video when it goes into an advertisement.
Ugh, the worst.
It's like, yeah, it's like right when somebody's in the middle of a word, you know. So we've got a small time. It also appears there will be a Halloween Ends in 2022.
That's weird. Are we gonna have? Oh yeah, yeah. That's supposed to be the definitive end, but it won't be.
No, there'll be another one.
yeah. There's gonna be like that hint at the end of it where
Allison grows up and she's like eyeing the mask. She's like, my turn.
That would be honestly preferred. So that's a plot line that and how at the end of Halloween 4, I'm just going to spoil these sequels because they're just shitty.
I don't care.
Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, it ends with Jamie, who is Laurie Strode's daughter, stabs her mom with the scissors, and she's wearing a clown costume. And at the end, Dr. Loomis is like, no, because for some reason Michael and Dr. Loomis survived a literal explosion in Halloween 2 and being burned alive.
Oh
And
yeah,
burned.
didn't they put like a little scar on his face or something?
Yeah. And he's like, because the thing with the later Halloween sequels of Donald Pleasance is he really hams it up. Like starting with 2, where he's like, I shot him 6 times. Just talking like this, screaming all the time. In Halloween 5, he's beating Michael Myers up with a 2x4 after putting it in a metal net. He's like screaming.
It's crazy.
But, I just caught on to something. You know how like we were complaining about Sartain killing a police officer?
Mm-hmm.
I just remembered in Halloween 2 when Loomis threatened a police officer with a gun.
Yeah, that's true.
I was like, oh my gosh.
Remember when they run over a dude that they think is Michael Myers, but it's not, and it turns out to be Ben Tramer, who was the boyfriend of the one girl who's strangled in the car in the first one?
I bet Michael Myers would just be like watching that, be like,
Well, he's already in the hospital. He had already stabbed a doctor in the eye with a needle at that point, which is like the nastiest kill in the whole series.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I haven't seen these movies in a long time. So
he also defies like physics. Well, he does it a lot. In Halloween 2, he stabs a nurse with a scalpel and picks her up by the scalpel.
How does that even possible?
I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you have enough grip to like hold a scalpel in someone and hold them up.
No.
Also in Halloween 4, he grabs a dude by the forehead and crushes his thumb into the dude's forehead, killing him.
Ew.
He also
stabs a woman with a shotgun into a wall. Not shoots her. Stabs her.
That's so stupid.
It's also in Halloween 2018, like he stomps on Sartain's face and his whole head explodes. I'm just like,
yeah. He also ripped a dude's teeth out with his bare hands in 2018.
Oh, jeezies.
What's another good Michael Myers kill? Good. In 5, he stabs. I think he stabs 2 people at the same time with a pitchfork, which is similar to a Friday the 13th kill where Jason stabs a couple. They're both couples are having sex, as I recall, and he just stabs them into the ground with a fence post. I love the Jason.
Out of all the scenes that I've seen of the Halloween films, I think the one that's probably the most tense for me is that one where I think Laurie like stabs Michael in the face with a hanger. Hanger. And then like after he falls down, she kind of like peeks down like this, like, "Hey, you dead down there?" You know. And like, because I think I would be like scared to move at that point. Just like, maybe he's dead. I'll just hang out here until someone comes by.
Yeah.
But,
well, I think anybody else has anything else to say in the club chat.
You remember when Busta Rhymes did Kung Fu and Michael Myers in Halloween Resurrection?
I've heard about that.
What?
It's embarrassing.
All these movies are embarrassing.
I used to own all these movies. Now I'm embarrassing.
Like on DVD?
I had them on Blu-ray. I
Wow.
bought a whole box set of them.
Are you gonna get the 4K now?
Yeah, if only. They need to re-release those. They just re-released Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I have the older box set because I found it at a Goodwill for $5.
Dang.
I think they thought that was the DVD version, but it's the Blu-rays.
Wow.
It had like all the stuff that comes with it because it comes in like a tin.
Mhm.
It had 3D glasses for Friday the 13th Part 3.
Wow.
And they were in the wrap. Granted, they'll stay in the wrap because Friday the 13th Part 3 3D should only be seen on a literal silver screen because that's the only time it actually works.
Yeah. Someone probably bought it and their like mom found it and like, what are you doing with this trash? Took it and dropped it off at the Goodwill.
Did your parents ever? Were you both into like the slasher stuff? Like
yeah.
a teenager?
Not really. I watched Scream in theater, and I can't remember if I had the VHS or not.
I remember
But-
having satellite and like I watched like the horror channel and like it had like all the cheesiest film like what was it Chopping Mall and Slumber Party Massacre and
I just saw Slumber Party Massacre for the first time. the
I
other
haven't seen that one yet. I want to.
it's on,
It-
wait,
it-
it's on
wait.
Tubi.
Wait.
it's-
Slumber Party Massacre. What was the one that I saw at the end? That was a camp movie, right? We talked about this.
Sleepaway Camp.
Okay, yeah.
Sleepaway
Okay,
Camp.
so that's,
Oh,
that's
that.
the one I saw. I haven't seen the sleep whatever the one you just said.
Slumber Party Massacre.
Slumber Party. I haven't seen that one yet.
Massacre is there's three of them. Third one's pretty bad. Second one's really funny bad because it's a ripoff of Nightmare on Elm Street, only with the guy coming in your dreams is a metal guy and he has a guitar drill that he kills people with. But it's the only trilogy of slasher movies that was written directed by women.
Oh, really?
They're all Roger Corman films, but they're directed and written by women
I did not know that.
that fought with Roger Corman about his like all the nudity he wants, his boobs and butts. He has like I think he still produces films and he has a quota.
Really?
Of his movies.
What a weirdo. Some people are so weird.
He makes sleazy B movies. He's made them since the late 50s.
Speaking of B movies, the one that you guys need to check out is Bigfoot 2012.
Yeah, I'm planning to watch that.
You won't regret it.
There's so many. You guys don't have Amazon Prime. There's so many good horror movies on right now. Like I said, like last month, Hellraiser 1 and 2 are on there. Society's on there.
Small Time says I saw Cheerleader Camp recently. Oh boy.
I just watched Bride of Reanimator.
How was that? Is that better than the first one?
No, it's far worse.
Or worse?
I love the first Reanimator movie. A movie that's infamous for a severed head giving a woman a head.
Yeah. That was an awkward scene.
Yeah. For this Halloween, I've been kind of sticking mostly to all the 40s classics, you know, like The Wolfman and Dracula and everything.
That's pretty cool.
I've been on my body horror romp for a while. Just the most disgusting things I can find from the 80s.
It's funny.
Video
Yeah,
literally sticking a VHS inside someone,
Yeah.
pulling a gun out, and it's like it shoots cancer bullets. It's
What?
a real movie. David Cronenberg before he made The Fly, Videodrome.
Wow.
A movie that I don't know if it popularized. That's not a good term, but it shed light on snuff films and people that watch them. That's a thing that's brought up, and like bondage and weird things like that. It's gross. Also, Scanners, which has the famous head explosion scene.
Yes.
The greatest head explosion ever.
Easy. Yeah, I've seen that clip.
I also like that one from Chopping Mall where the robot just sends like a little laser ball into that girl's head. It's just like
Where all the budget went for that movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
I told you I had a teacher that was in that movie.
Yeah, you did.
He throws the child that's playing the arcade on the arcade cabinet.
So funny.
So we made a reference to it in Who Killed Jeremy Renthal, my first film.
You mentioned Sleepaway Camp earlier, Matthew. I actually showed my wife the picture of that face, at the end. She was just like, that's not creepy. And then I showed like the fake one, like the dummy that they used when they were zooming out to reveal that she was a boy. She was like, okay, that one's creepy.
I rewatched the sequels to that. Have you seen the sequels?
I've seen the last clip of the Return to Sleepaway Camp.
Oh yeah, that one's freaking terrible.
I know, and she's just like, ha 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 ha. Also,
she's really a funny person in general in real life. But Sleepaway Camp 2, Unhappy Campers has a scene where a camp counselor's drowned in an outhouse. Gets covered in leeches.
That's disgusting.
It's so nasty. She's like, because you talk shit, and like just shams her head in with like a stick.
I was about to say that's a pretty crappy way to die. Dude.
Funny.
I actually, the guy at my local comic book shop where I bought The Last Ronin from, he I think he was telling me a story that he met what's her name, who played Angela in the original. So what?
That's a lot of the conventions.
Yeah, well, he met her, and she said that, like, he was telling me that, like, yeah, she's actually really cool and everything, and so it's just like, and you would just think that, like, she was just a teenager, and like she scared most people just by that face and everything, and
I mean, she was on an episode of Red Letter Media's Best the Worst because she did this pregnant mom's rap.
I saw that.
That kills me.
Small Time says that he's seen all of the Sleepaway Camps.
Have you seen the test footage for Sleepaway Camp for The Survivor, Small Time? The movie they just canceled while making it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's a Sleepaway Camp sequel. Like, no one cared. In 1992, they really didn't care about slashers. Scream hadn't come out yet.
Yeah. Well, should we wrap this up?
Sure.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining, guys. I'm glad we did a little follow-up club chat after the discussion. We'll spread the word and do it again.
Yeah, I agree. I've enjoyed it. I think it's kind of a good way for all of our subscribers to be able to voice what they thought. So.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're gonna sign out, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Gucci.
Bye, everybody.
TV.